Hello and welcome to the second episode of the Anglo Rambler. Today we're at Munlochy. I am actually currently here at Munlochy Bay. I'll turn the camera around so you can see. Look at that bay. Isn't that lovely? There's a fair bit of history to do with this bay here because you've got caves just over on that side. We're going to take a walk along there and go down to that point in this episode. We're also going to go along to the Munlochy Well, rich in pagan history and early Christian conversion. In the meantime, I'll tell you a little bit about Munlochy Bay here. So the land is actually rising, or the sea level's dropping by 1 to 2 millimeters a year. It's actually this is the third time in the history since the Ice Age that this has been happening. During these 1700s, it is told that French ships used to come up here, drop off claret and brandy and walnuts and gunpowder for the Jacobites, money as well. Plus over there is the small village of Munlochy itself, just that way there. There used to be a couple of sea mills because the sea was a little bit further up, because in the 1840s when they built the sea walls and the B road that'll bring you here, and there also was the Bay Quarry, which is why Munlochy is here in the first place. The Bay Quarry was opened up so that they could supply stone to Fort George just over the Moray Firth over there. Fort George was finally completed in 1769 and it's erected to try and keep the Jacobites finally at bay after the English win at Culloden in 1746. Here also I've spotted over on that side of the shore a huge amount of seals right up against the bay over there. Absolutely thousands, and I mean thousands, of geese when they're moving over the spring and autumn time when they're going north and south. Also here I've spotted 2 sea eagles, one of the few places here in the UK where you can spot sea eagles. They're absolutely massive. Behind me here is the bird hut. It's a very popular spot when there's particular types of birds here. Up over on these poles here I've also encountered peregrine falcons, buzzards, red kites, and what's the other one? Sparrowhawks as well. So we're going to go see the Munlochy Well next, and then we're going to go and take that walk down to the other side of Munlochy Bay over there. Oh, I nearly forgot. So this little area we're standing on here, see a little path running along the side of the road that way and running along there. This is actually the area, get myself out of the sun, this is actually the area of where the old train line used to run. The train line ran there from Muirvord from 1894 until it was finally closed in 1960. So Muirvord is over that way, about 10-15 miles that way. Ran all the way along here. There used to be a station there in Munlochy. Ran all the way to Ark and then finally stopped at Fortrose. They were going to move it all the way over to Cromarty, but the population size in Cromarty at the time was quite small, not as large as it is now. I mean, it's still quite small now, but not as large. I think there's only about 500 people. But as I say, they took the railway line out in 1960. I think it was actually closed before then, maybe about 1958 or so. But anyway, we're going to go see the Munlochy Well and then head down the Munlochy side of the Munlochy Bay. And in a following video, we're actually going to take this side from Och along this left-hand side here. It's absolutely stunning along here. Hopefully you're able to see it and you're not blinded by the sun too much. Hello and welcome to the Munlochy Well just outside Munlochy. I hear you ask, Mr. English Rambler, what is a Munlochy Well? Well, I shall tell you. Whilst we are following up the path here towards the Munlochy Well itself. This Munlochy Well here in Munlochy is just by the main road. There's a nice little woodland path along the way. And a Munlochy Well is a well or spring, normally 99% of the time, with a tree beside it. And a clwt in Scottish, or in Scots, means a cloth. So people would come down here in pagan times and leave a little bit of cloth dipped in the well, and as you can see, tied up on the tree to help rid any sickness that was with them or a loved one of theirs. Now the well itself here is just over here. Well, it's more of a spring, I'd say, actually, but as you can see, it's still well used today. There we go, we'll go up here and I'll tell you a little bit more about this Munlochy Well. As I was saying, all the Munlochy Wells are all dated back from Celtic times, pagan times. So you'll find them here in Scotland, Ireland, and even down in Cornwall in England. Now all of them have a slight difference, or a slight different history, sorry. Wow, that branch there, absolutely caked in clwts. There we go. See there? Now, I wouldn't recommend drinking that water, not by any stretch of the imagination. So just bring down your piece of cotton or wool, dip it in this spring here, and tie it to one of the trees. Please make sure it's not polyester or something else, because otherwise it won't biodegrade. Typical people leaving face masks there. It's a sign of our times at the minute. Anyway. So to give you a little bit of history whilst we're walking around here. During pagan times, these wells and springs were used, as you can see, normally right by trees as well. But when the Christian religion came to this country, quite a lot of pagan ideas and beliefs were taken over with saints of various descriptions. And the saint associated to this one is Saint Boniface. He's the patron saint of Germany and the first Archbishop of Mainz. Hope you can hear me well with all the cars going past. Yeah, he is the patron saint of Germany and the first Archbishop of Mainz. He was actually born in the Kingdom of Wessex, which today is Devon in England. He was actually killed in Frisia in Germany in 754 AD. And he came to this part of Scotland to help convert the locals to the Christian religion from all their crazy pagan ways. Now, when you walk around that little path here, it's just a little path around the Munlochy Well, but there is actually about 3/4 of a mile walk a little bit further down from the car park. So what I'm going to do now is just continue around this little walk here, and I'll take you back to the car park and we'll do the little walk around if we can, because I'm of the understanding that the bridge might be being fixed at the minute, but at least you'll know where to go for a little walk when you come and visit Munlochy, and come and dip your clwt into the well, or into the spring in our case. As you can see behind me, that is the entrance here to the Munlochy Well, and if I was to come around, we walked up that path there to the Munlochy Well itself, but there is also a woodland trail that heads off down that way that'll actually take you into Munlochy. Or if you go further round into the car park, around here, there's another little trail which I particularly like, as I've come walking here many a time. If you come here at the right time of year, July, August, end of July really, you should be able to pick some wild rasps down here as well, if the locals haven't picked them already. But there's probably in this car park enough room for about maybe 10 cars. But we'll go down, we'll go have a look, we'll follow along the path there, and you'll see what I mean when I say it's one of the most fabulous walks you'll see when you go down. It kind of dips down quite sharply, and again it also meets up with that first woodland path that will take you down into Munlochy, where the Allen Grange Arms is, and you can pop there for a beverage or for some food. I think the bridge might be closed. That's a shame. Might not be able to get right the way around, but we'll go have a look. Yes, as I was saying, the Allen Grange Arms is down there in Munlochy. After you come out, you walk past the school, you get into the centre of Munlochy. There's one shop, and there is the pub itself. They serve good food, good beer, and then you can take a little journey back up through the woodland, back up to the car park, and carry on with your adventurising of the Highlands. So here we go. They've actually done a lot of work around here lately, because there's a few houses that have gone up nearby. But as you can see, these trees are absolutely massive. How about this for a little view to go for a walk? Look at that river running through there. That river actually runs right the way through Munlochy, right underneath where the old railway station used to be, and it will run out into the Moray Firth. Now, as I said on the way down, this bridge here is actually out of action. But luckily, the English Rambler comes prepared. I have wellies. Because it's Scotland as well, I would always recommend bringing a pair of wellies, because you never know how boggy an area might be. Right, let's see if I can cross over here. Don't know why that bridge is unsafe. Now, that to me looks a little bit fast and a little bit deep down there. They've actually cut back a lot of the woodland here. All this around here was absolutely chock-a-block with trees. I might be able to get over further here. In the summertime, all this down here is so low, but because it's the 1st of April today, so the water level's actually still quite high. Let's see if I can get down this way. Let's see. Yeah, all this here was trees. A couple of years ago, you couldn't get down this part. You had to cross the bridge every time. You can always take the other trail up as well and around, but hey, why not? Let's do some adventurising. Right, watch out for the mud, use the stick. Right, there you go. Here's a good place to cross, hopefully. Oh, yeah, see someone's kindly left the log there as well. Try not to drop the camera in at the same time. Oh. Excellent. We did it. So normally you cross that bridge over there, come around this path here, and very nicely someone has cut out a seat. So if you want a little quiet moment to yourself, or if you want a picture taken with the family, someone's very kindly popped a seat in there for you. There you go, how about that? And look at these trees. You really get an idea of how tall they actually are. Now, right, let's take you along the water side here, and then just up into the woods, and you guys can find the rest of the path down to Munlochy yourself. It's very well laid out, and it is a nice little walk, so you can bring the kids down here. What I used to do is bring my little one down here with a little remote control boat, and we used to just up and down this little stretch here, just do the little remote control boat going up and down. It's a nice little spot, and if the remote control boat got stuck, it's shallow enough for you to just pop in and go get the boat itself. Right, here we go. Oh, they put a bridge in here. This wasn't here either. Yeah, they've done an awful lot of work here, but you really get a feel of how it could have been during pagan times and why people would have used this area as a little ritual place. So guys, surprisingly, that is the end of the second episode here at Munlochy. I haven't actually been on the walk yet, as I promised at the beginning of this episode, but you'll be able to see the walk going down Munlochy Bay at the start of the next episode, in episode 3. So I'll say goodbye for now, catch you guys on the next episode, and thank you for joining me. Also, check out the links in the description, follow me wherever you can, and support me on Patreon if you can as well. Alright guys, bye for now.